Last episode of Castlevania Curse of Darkness, we defeated Trevor Belmont in what was meant to be a very difficult battle. At first I thought maybe we're just not high enough level for it, but it was actually hard, you know, like the traditional 2D Castlevania is hard. Which was surprising to me. It took me a few attempts to be like, oh, maybe I should just like play this like a Dark Souls boss fight and get good and try not to get hit. It's a really cool fight though. I enjoyed it. After defeating Trevor, he opened up this portal to another section of the castle. Basically, his point was, I'm going to go kill this douchebag Isaac. I'm the only one who's qualified to do so. And Hector's like, no, I hate Isaac. I want to kill him. I'm the one that wants revenge. And Trevor's like, okay, fine, but only if you can beat me. So they needed some, like, hackneyed reason for us to fight an ally. And that was the one they gave us. Yes, Trevor Belmont was the player character in Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse, for the NES, which so far has been the hardest game we've played. I pretty much had to cheat to beat it. Castlevania 1 is also pretty hard, but we were able to do it without using any like save state technology. I played Dracula's Curse on the 3DS, which comes with restore points, and I had to use them to beat it in a reasonable amount of time. Very, very difficult. And really, it's not so much that it's the actual fights are difficult, which they are. It's that the game over and checkpoint policy in that game is not good. Like, I don't think it's good game design, even compared to like Castlevania 1. They'll send you really far back if you run out of lives. It's all kind of a holdover. But to my knowledge, I think it's one of the last games to have that problem. After Curse of Darkness, the next game they're playing in the series is Castlevania The Adventure. The original release of which for the Game Boy is considered to be a pretty bad game, but the remake for WiiWare that we'll be playing is apparently quite a bit better. After that is Belmont's Revenge, Castlevania 2 for the Game Boy, which is supposed to be a really good game, awesome music. That'll be a blind playthrough for me as well. So the games we've played so far, we started with Castlevania 1, and they're like, okay, now let's flash back and figure out what's going on in this universe. So we went back to the first game in the timeline, Lament of Innocence, where you play as Leon Belmont. That's in, like, the time of the Crusades. These guys probably get good XP, right? I might need to finish leveling up Proper Person. Let me switch to him real quick. After that, Castlevania 3 is Trevor Belmont, one of Leon's descendants. And this takes place while Trevor's still alive. One of only a few games that doesn't feature a Belmont or Alucard as a protagonist. What's up with this dude's shield? Maybe it's taking enemy damage from behind, or lasts for a while. Not sure. Screw him, Goomba. This game is one of the more contentious titles in the list. And probably this one, The Adventure, and Simon's Quest are the least favorite Castlevania games. This one's right on our Metacritic quality threshold at about 76, I think. And then one we'll do for an awesome game is 75. But I've been digging it so far. I don't know what makes this game 75 and Lament of Innocence much more highly rated, given that this game is basically just a better version of Lament of Innocence. It could be, like Chaos Factor was suggesting, that folks wanted another Symphony of the Night and got another 3D Castlevania and they were disappointed by that. Maybe the shield goes away when the rest of the enemies in the room are dead. That's my last guess for how this thing works. I really want to evolve Proper Person. You can get an actual ability. It takes a long time to evolve, and they'll need like 20 of those blue crystals. 200 total blue crystals, like maybe 20 more or something like that. I'll check after this room. I guess maybe a legit complaint about this game is that the fact that there's an experience point system, that your protagonist and his Pokemon level up, mean that combat's a lot more mandatory. There's a lot of areas with enemies that you can just skip in Lament of Innocence. But here it's really recommended that you fight everything to stay leveled up so you're not having problems with boss fights later on. But I would count that as a boon. It was kind of frustrating that it felt like the correct thing to do in the Lament of Innocence was just skip all the enemies in every room. There's no real reason to fight them without like an XP system. That brings the whole interesting idea of like, you know, if you have something that's repetitive and really not that interesting, why is it that adding an experience system makes it more tolerable? It's kind of odd, right? And it's in almost every corner of gaming now. Like first-person shooters almost all have XP progression systems. And you're really just playing the same maps with the same guns over and over, but it feels better somehow to gain XP after every match. The biggest thing was we fought Trevor, Goomba. He opened up this area of the castle for us. I kind of like all the stuff they've done with Trevor in this game. I wasn't expecting there to be any tie-in. This almost to be like a side story. Trevor fight was actually really hard. When I eventually won, I had to be really careful. It's pretty good, actually. Let's see if that's an upgrade on the current axe. It is. That might be really big, though. It is. Alright, well, we'll try using a big weapon for a while again. Cat Camps. Hey, Sornus, how's it going? So I can craft a new sword. Adamantine, that's pretty cool looking. That's nothing important. Something I can't make right now. Totally make that though. Cuirassier armor? Did I read that right? Something like that. Let me check to how close is my Innocent Devil. Okay, 18 more, so we were about 20 away from leveling up proper person. Yeah, the sense of progression though is like, it's false, you know, it's just a number that's going up. Sometimes it unlocks things, but instead of having a progression system where as you gain XP you deal more damage, you could just balance the game in such a way that you're always doing an appropriate amount of damage to the enemies you're encountering. It functions about the same way. I know, right? Monoprice.com for days, Ornus. Cables on anything other than the internet are a highway robbery. I had a friend who bought like a $50 gold-plated HDMI cable, and I'm like, oh my goodness, HDMI is a digital signal. It either sends or it doesn't. There are no, like, Martians living in the cable. Evil gremlins that'll degrade your signal. Right. It's scary because, like, you know, I'm not extremely tech savvy, but I'm definitely more tech savvy than I am mechanic savvy, for example. So like when I go to Best Buy and I see the Geek Squad charging a $99 installation package to a grandma to install their grandkids' PlayStation 4, and by install we mean like plug it in, I'm like, oh my god, when I go to a mechanic to get my car fixed, I don't know what I'm doing. Am I getting fleeced in the same way? Oh, thank you, Sornus. No, I'm not saying like it's on the consumer to, you know, get everything quickly online, but just saying if you can see how much you're being gypped at these establishments if you look at Monoprice. Hey, Brightside, how's it doing? I know, right? My kingdom to, like, personally know a mechanic or something. Yeah, one time, early in my career as an adult, I took my car to get an oil change, and the folks, it was like Midas or something, they stripped the threading on the oil pan, and because like they're the only people that had ever messed with the car, right? So I took it back to them, and they said this will cost $2,000 to fix. Ended up taking it to a friend at work's mechanic friend, and he fixed it for $30, and that just freaked me out. Like, oh gosh. I know, right, Dieter? Oh, it's the worst. I hate haggling, too. Negotiating in general. I'm doing that with Comcast right now. I'm trying to get them to waive the cost of unlimited data, since I go way over the new caps they added, or to at least give me a really significant discount. And it's exhausting. I like Skies of Arcadia. It had some really cool ideas about combat. I really like the visual style. I like that it strayed away from a lot of JRPG tropes. I mean, it embraced a lot of JRPG tropes as well, but it's always nice to have like a happy-go-lucky, optimistic JRPG protagonist instead of like a moody, broody, Life is Pain main character. We were actually talking about this in Discord recently about how Zidane in Final Fantasy IX is pretty unusual among Final Fantasy protagonists. Yeah, this hammer's actually pretty good. I like the spread on it. I might need to switch to a smaller hammer for a boss fight, but... yeah. Vaughn was a cool character. It sounds like the GameCube version of Skies of Arcadia was strictly better and improved a lot of the problems, like the random battle rate, which is already still quite high even in the GameCube version. That's fucking good though. I generally really enjoy the Final Fantasy series, despite the protagonists. They're much more about the ensemble cast, depending on the game. Final Fantasy VI the most so. Characters are seldom subtle. Yeah. Could agree with that. Let me see what this ability is. Transforms into a magic circle along with Hector. Press the attack button to do a dash attack. Okay. Oh, is this like my fast movement ability? It might be. Yeah. And they're a little bit more subtle in 6, I think. I mean, they still sort of do the, haha, look, this character has true character traits, so we're going to, like, double down on what those character traits are constantly. Get it? Cyan doesn't like machines, ah! But... right, Rosary. What a dream. That's been my standard JRPG experience with characterization, is they like choose a quirk and then like a huge chunk of the character is just reinforcing that quirk all the time. What about the voice acting, Brightside? Yeah, Kefka's the best villain. It's true. We've beaten 6 on stream, but so we can talk about that more. Did anyone here have the... So I think it's really hard to get the legit Final Fantasy VI blind playthrough experience because of all the focus on Kefka. Sort of like how it's really hard to see Terminator 2 without knowing the Terminator 2 spoiler. Like even the trailer and like the back of the box gives that away. But I remember as a kid, that was a surprise for me, and it's so cool when it's a surprise. This like the recurring joke villain. They keep setting up Gestalt to be the true final boss, the real threat. And it makes sense too, like, yeah, he's the joke villain, he does some really awful stuff along the way, but nothing to make you think that he's going to become a god. Yeah, Dieter, I started in retention. It's on my first rodeo. I called them within minutes of the data cap being announced. Like immediately after stream, I called them and I talked to retention loyalty, and they said, "What are you talking about?" And I said, "Guys, you just sent me an email saying that you're adding data caps to my state and like almost every US state." And he was like, "No, as far as we know, that only affects Tucson, Arizona." And I said, "Let me send you the email, and I'll send you the FAQ on your public website that shares it." And this isn't just like some clueless rep I got in loyalty either. He's like talking to his supervisors and furiously Skyping with his call center, everybody in his group, and none of them had heard of this. And I was like, dude, like, I remember working in a call center. It sucks. I'm not going to sit here and like yell at you or lecture you, but you got to distribute this to the rest of your team because people are going to start calling you and they're going to be really pissed. So that was my first experience with loyalty. I called loyalty again and got a dude who was much less savvy and helpful than the first guy who knew nothing. He was like, "Oh, let me transfer you to our data cap department so they can take care of that for you." And then he blind transferred me to the data cap department. Meaning he transferred me without introducing the call, and I got on the line and said, "Hey, you know, I just talked to this guy for 30 minutes. Did he tell you what I needed?" And she's like, "No, I don't know what you're talking about. This is your first time speaking to me." Great, okay. We can't waive your data cap. Thanks, loyalty. Yeah, I felt really bad for the first guy that I called because Comcast hadn't informed their, like, front lines at all that they had done this. So the team I'm talking to now, I filed an FCC complaint, so I've got somebody in corporate executive escalations, I think is the team. They make it sound really official. I worked in that department at Chase. We're not that important, but I've been going back and forth with him in email. I sent him this big long email that outlined my arguments for why $50 a month is excessive and the 20 cents per gigabyte they're charging is way, way, way beyond what they could call a reasonable profit, given how much it actually costs them per gigabyte. But I just highlighted at the bottom, like, if you just, you know, here's my argument, but if you don't care about that, I'm sure you've got like 50 people with FCC complaints every hour that you're having to deal with. You can just scroll to the bottom and I put a TLDR with what I want from Comcast. So we'll see what happens. If they don't do what I ask, I'm going to contact my New Mexico congressmen, senators, and the local news out here in Los Alamos. Yeah, I agree, Goomba. The foreshadowing for Kefka is absolutely there. It's great, though. It's the kind of thing where, you know, when you go through and you play it a second time, you pick up on all the hints. Oh, I called them, so when I got to the second guy, the guy who blind transferred me, he opened with, their default spiel right now, if you call them to complain about the data cap, is to say, "Oh, this probably doesn't affect you." And I'm like, "Oh yeah? Like, it's the 15th of October, look at my data usage." And he says, "Oh, you're at 1.5 terabytes. I'm like, yeah, I'm at 1.5 terabytes. Trust me, this affects me. Hey, LudoFX, how's it going? It's a super tough situation too, because like, you know, and this is what I've said with each of the people I've talked to. It's like, I don't want free stuff. I am happy to pay Comcast extra for higher speeds. And I do pay them extra for higher speeds. That's a value-added service for me. It costs them extra to provide, and I pay more than the cost so that they can turn a profit. It's very reasonable. But given that it's a fraction of a penny per gigabyte, for them to want to charge 20 cents per gigabyte is what the overage cost is. It's absurd. One of the guys I ended up talking to before I got to the corporate executive escalations team, whatever, you know, fancy phrasing to make you feel better about who you're talking to. He was like, "Oh, you know, it's like with your water company. When you use a lot of water, you pay more for water." I'm like, "Yeah, well, water companies are a regulated common carrier utility, like the internet is in European countries. If you want to compare yourself to a regulated common carrier utility, you should be regulated like one." Also, the cost per unit water is astronomically higher than the cost per unit data. I know, right, Polar Brewski? That'll be my argument. If they don't do the thing I'm requesting, I'll follow up on my FCC complaint and say, no, it's not resolved. You know, this is the only resolution I can see. Do the same, contacting the New Mexico congressmen and senators. Right. Yeah, tell me about this this scarce resource that you're charging me for. But it's frustrating for a few reasons, right? It's like the only people it's going to affect are the people that are already power users that are already paying extra for faster speeds. You know, grandma who's using it for Facebook and Gmail isn't going to pay extra anyway. So they're just double dipping on the power users. Another argument I'd put forward is that, like, if you think back to when we all had 56K dial-up internet, like the thought of a service like YouTube or Twitch existing, you wouldn't even consider that, right? You wouldn't even imagine that such a thing could exist because speeds were so slow. So if back in the days of 56K added like a 1 gigabyte cap, which seems excessive at the time, 99% of customers would agree, yeah, that's totally reasonable, I'm never going to use a gigabyte of data. And then we would never develop YouTube because there wouldn't be any customers that would have the caps to support it. So I think there's a really strong argument to be made that it's holding back the development of the internet. Yeah, I was saying the same thing. I think it was Kami I was saying that I should threaten to go to the media or tweet them, and I'm like, dude, when you Google Comcast and you look in the image search and there's like 3 pictures of swastikas, I think they've gone so low that they don't give a shit anymore. There are other companies that are respected that if you tweet that they're giving you a hard time, they will quickly try to fix it because they don't want to tarnish their reputation. But if there's anything Comcast doesn't give a shit about right now, I think it's their reputation. Right, sir? I'm trying to think if there's a JRPG antagonist that I like better than Kefka. It's a really hard question. Antagonists in JRPGs are, I don't know. As much as I like Final Fantasy VI, like, it's not the most subtle story. Right? It's basically Star Wars. At least the first part of it is Star Wars. Yeah, that's exactly it, Kuba. It's not a coincidence that the data caps are only being deployed in areas where Comcast has minimal or no competition, and that magically if you live in a Comcast-controlled area that also has Google Fiber, surprise! No data cap, faster speeds, lower prices. It's almost as if competition is better for consumers. Died in the data mines. Gygus is a good one. Yeah. Pokey less so, but Gygus is a good one. Yeah, Lavos as a force of nature is a cool one too. I think Chrono Trigger definitely has the most admirable protagonists. That's one of the only RPG stories where, like, there is no conceivable positive benefit to the protagonists from 1000 AD to save the world, because, like, they will be dead and their great-great-great-great-grandchildren will be long dead. So they just do it because it's the right thing to do. Yeah. JRPG antagonists. Right? You fight fetus Gygus. You do the would you go back in time and abort Hitler thing. That's the plot of Earthbound. Spoiler alert. This evil cosmic horror is unbeatable, so let's go kill it while it's still in the womb. I say, like, the best JRPG antagonist, or a unique one, most well written. My father worked mines until the day that took his life. Oh man, I gotta get the curse immunity back on. I could just remove this one. Use an uncursed item manually like a caveman. I do like, yeah, X-Death is pretty cool because it's like, it's turning the head on the fantasy trope of the helpful sentient tree, right? It's a sapient tree, but he's not a good guy. Yeah. Yeah. Pokey and Mother 3 is actually pretty solid. Needle magic circle. I'm sensing a pattern here. Press the attack button to strike using blades. I wonder if that confers immunity to damage while I'm in that form. But I definitely either have a cold or I have, like, fall allergies in New Mexico, as this is our first fall out here, so bear with me, I'll be having to mute often to sniffle. Hoping cold rather than allergies. I had really, really brutal allergies when I was a young kid in, like, elementary and middle school and early high school. Like, socially debilitating allergies. I was constantly wiping my nose. It was awful. Medicine didn't help. Hey, Warp Zone. Cool. See if there's new stuff to buy. Back to base. Look at that, Goomba. Say thank you to Domo Roboto, Senior Product Manager at Twitch. He recommended it. It was a really good suggestion. It fits in really well with the flavor of the channel. Yeah, hay fever was really bad. The kind where you have to like itch the roof of your mouth by rubbing your tongue on it. Oh, it's the worst. Oof. Thick pollen and, like, humid summers, I'm guessing, right?
What can I get you? What will it be today?
You have nothing that interests me.
Well,
Well, I could try to get some of these high potions.
What can I get you today? What will it be today? Too bad. Thanks as always. Take care.
I gave her about 3 times more voice lines than she really needed there. Yeah. Hay fever itch. It's hard to describe. Basically, like, the back of the roof of your mouth, right in front of your uvula, itches really, really badly. And to itch it, you have to, like, press your tongue against the roof of your mouth and just vigorously rub it. And it's the worst feeling. It doesn't even have, like, sometimes you get a bug bite and you itch it, and it actually kind of feels good. Yeah, I agree, Game Saucer. Scratch, whatever. Fine. Pedantry award goes to Kami. Scratch implies like nails or something, though. Maybe there's another word. Soothe the itch. Rub the itch. I know, right? Leave, I can go with that. Or just itch the itch. I think that's like an accepted dictionary definition now. It's like could versus couldn't care less. Tongue the itch. That's really what you're doing. I know, right? Magical flying chairs is like an elevator that makes no sense, and the protagonist has to sit all badass in them. Hector can't sit normally. He has to pretend to be Dracula when he sits down. Pray to the elder gods to contain the itch. I used to be a master pedant when I was probably up through slightly after high school. They got some people really mad at me. Like, dude, nobody cares. It's funny too, because like if you do that to a linguist, they'll laugh at you because they'll be like, "Language evolves." Aren't you better off not touching it at all? I guess that's been my experience. If I get a bug bite, I try to just leave it alone if I can. Massive steel door. So, like, my samurai friend can't open it, can he? A huge door won't even budge. Man, points, though, to Castlevania for including an animation, since that's something reasonable that the player would try, right? I think that's an important game design principle. Cut it out. Dread spot. Can I, like, interact with this rad giant crystal thing? Didn't look like it. Alright, so there's a locked door that way. Let's see what's down this path. I saw one of these guys. In the past, they haven't really had anything worth stealing. I think I've done that before, pressing something warm against it. Is this room a dead end? That's unexpected. Really? Yeah. Right on. If I keep that in mind, next time I get a nasty bug bite. Bugs aren't too bad up here on the mesa in Mexico. The worst time of bug bites is probably... Oh, right. You know, I can probably switch to Nevermore and fly across here. Yeah, long glide. Hype. How's Monkey Island treating you so far, E10? We're running a bit late tonight with Subblock, but if you're still on, I'll throw you a host. I set Lisa and Matt up with instructions for their blind Undertale playthrough, minimize the spoilers, get them the information they needed. I'll get an update from them when they'll be doing that. It sounds like they're going to do it on a weekend and try to do it in one sitting, starting at like noon Eastern time, I would guess. Let's see if I can help them out by being chat clearing mod. One of the many benefits of winter. Winter's my favorite season by a pretty long shot. A lot of that probably had to do with being so deathly allergic to everything when I was a kid. Everything I was allergic to was dead. Bugs were all dead or sleeping. Hello. I get worried about folk wisdom like that sometimes because it's very frequently wrong, but I've heard that that one's actually real. I read that great, there's a good, explain like I'm 5, how does baking soda remove smells from your fridge? The top answer was, it doesn't. That's Arm & Hammer's way to get you to buy more baking soda. Surface area would need to be huge for it to work. There's also the fact that in winter you can always add more layers to warm up. You can only remove so many before you get arrested. That's a pretty cool attack, I've got to admit. With those floating damage numbers. Not enough though. Yeah, fall's pretty great. Late fall. Jean jacket weather. That's what I would say in the 90s. Hoodie weather now, I guess. How does it spare you from that heat then? Yeah, I think the like brute force every key into every possible keyhole is an unfortunate consequence of the times in adventure games when you just figure out what it actually wants you to do on the first try. So, if you can find a game that removes the let me just try every key brute forcing, but still manages to make you feel accomplished and smart for figuring it out the first time. I don't know how you do that though. There were a couple puzzles in, like the investigation puzzle in Life is Strange was really well done, I thought. Gave you enough hints if you got stuck on it that you'd get it eventually. Apparently the nightmare puzzle with the keypad with all the numbers on the walls, if you put in 50 numbers and they're all wrong, Max breaks the fourth wall and yells at you and just opens the door for you. Oh, there's a special dialogue for every combination. That's a good way to do that. I like that. Canadian tuxedo. I miss the jean jacket. "82 degrees outside. No thanks, I'm good." Huh. This must be the other side. The room I was in forever ago. Right on. Alright, let me go the other way. Yeah, right. Not the most encouraging area name. Yeah, I think... I'm trying to think, like, what's the level of additional effort to put a unique voice line or even just text line for every possible combination of key and keyhole. That sounds like a nightmare to test, but... For an adventure game, I feel like that's probably worth doing. The hell is this? Protect against dark. Okay. I think we've really encountered an enemy that uses dark elemental attacks. Now, I'm just gonna check this wall. That looks like a door. It might just be... Can't tell if that's an aesthetic crack in the wall or actually something I can break. Yeah, okay, I guess not. Probably better to not be voiced then. I'm totally fine with that. I feel like, and I've said this before, that the demand for voice acting is super unreasonable, and it really significantly increases the cost of game development when the value added isn't really that high. Bring out rock and roll for a bit. See if I can equip the thing that makes him get all the XP. I know, right, Goomba? The Trevor fight in this game felt like a Dark Souls fight. It was pretty hard. He had a couple attacks that would kill you in 3 or 4 hits if you let them. It was really hard to heal during it. It just took me a while to realize that that was how you were intended to fight it. Like, take this seriously, this is actually hard. You can't just face roll it. Yeah. Screw and loot effects. Yeah, I think that the player demand and expectation that there be voice acting and everything is probably unhealthy for development cycles. I think players have chilled out about having, you know, AAA photorealistic graphics and everything thanks to indie developers. It's not even just that you have to have voice acting, you have to have talented voice acting. People will eat your game alive. It used to be acceptable to do, you know, like the Symphony of the Night quality, "Die, monster, you don't belong in this world." I think you would get torn to shreds with that today. Yeah. Well, if you look at like the Old Republic, I think a big chunk of why the Old Republic lost so much money is that Bioware insisted on voicing everything in that game, right? For all the different paths, no matter how like inconsequential the NPC. Maybe though, if you commit to full voice acting, you're a little bit carefuler to not have such bloggeria everywhere. Like some of those text-only cutscenes in Final Fantasy XIV are about 50 times longer than they need to be, the information that they're conveying. But maybe if they had to worry about how can we afford to voice all of this, they would reduce it a little bit. Oh, you should totally play Bravely Default, Polobrisky. If you want to borrow my 3DS sometime, I can hook you up. Really good game. Talking about this in Overboard Gaming's channel last night, that like it's one of the few modern JRPGs that doesn't say JRPGs are bad. Let's just JRPGs suck, so let's make our game not play like any other JRPG, you know? That's kind of where a lot of the rest of the genre is taking it. We don't like the turn-based RPG style combat, so let's just do away with it and turn our game into an action RPG like Kingdom Hearts. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, that makes sense. It affects response lines. Like with Fire Emblem, or are you specifically talking about Fire Emblem? Oh, Danganronpa, okay. Fire Emblem will do that too, where each character has like a set of, I don't know, 50 generic reaction lines. What? I see. Haha. And then they'll play that on top of whatever their actual text line is, so it gives you a little bit of flavor. I did. I'm still hoping to get a one-handed axe that's a little bit faster, Chaos. Nice on your long hallway story in Discord. I saw that while I was going live. Yeah. What does this say? Is it meant to say anything? I can't interact with it at all. I can't do anything to it. Seems like a really big area that potentially doesn't do anything. I guess there's still one path I haven't taken. I'll go check that out. Yeah. Bravely Second, not so much. I mean, Bravely Second has the mechanics. I really didn't like the story of that game, though. Yeah, so while other games are saying... I trailed off and didn't finish my thought there. Other games are saying, you know, turn-based JRPGs are bad, let's just stop doing that and make our games into action RPGs. Bravely Default says, no, we still like turn-based JRPGs, how can we, like, make the formula work better? Just keep the same basic idea, but improve the formula in some way. Bravely Second probably could have worked better if they had treated the series as an anthology. You know, they had loose ends at the end of the first game, but... ridiculous. All the levels up. How are we doing on level? Man, they catch up fast if they're behind. Okay, that's good to know. I want to evolve patches eventually, but I gotta get a better special weapon to be able to do that effectively. I guess I'll just try to catch everybody up to proper person here. Yep, I'm excited to play World of Final Fantasy. I was actually tempted to add it to the voting spreadsheet to replace, hold on here. To replace Shovel Knight, but I don't have reliable how long to beat stats for it yet. I've got a bunch of like web reports and gaming journalists saying that it's 100 hours, and then some people on forums saying it's more like 30 hours. That's too big of a spread for me to take a guess. It's going to affect the cost, so give it a month or so. Someone can either add it. Yeah, absolutely, Goomba. It's just all over the place. It had some cool ideas. It had the Batman versus Superman problem, which is overstating it. Or rather, I think the negativity towards Batman versus Superman is probably blown out of proportion. It's not as bad as people make it out to be. My way of thinking about that movie is that if you were to read the bullet points that describe the events of that film, it sounds pretty cool. It's just that they don't really execute on the individual bullet points super well, and they do a really bad job at transitioning from bullet point to bullet point. But there's cool ideas there, and you can still say, hey, that's a cool idea. Yeah, I'm just looking to beat it and not 100% it. Ow, 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 ow. It's PS4? Is it PS4 exclusive? Vita as well? I beat Final Fantasy VI really early in the stream history. Basically, the first 6 months of me playing stuff on Twitch was, let me play, like, my 10 favorite JRPGs. Because I played a shit ton out of them when I was a kid, and I know a lot about them, and I can talk to an empty room about them. Okie dokie. Who is at their max evolution? Maybe we should approach it that way. I think Propa Person and Vivi still need to finish evolving. Yeah. Okay. So we'll do Vivi for now. That's pretty good. Oh, it's so hard, Sornus. It's very difficult. I have to do it occasionally, depending on what game I'm playing, if chat's not super active, but just being over the 0 to 5 average concurrent viewers hump. That podcast we did, we're going to do one eventually about getting over the 0 viewers hump and talking to empty room and all that fun stuff, but somebody replied saying, I've been streaming for a year and I still hover around 0 to 1 and whatever sticks around, what do I do? And I was like, it's probably just that you're being quiet, man. Like, I haven't watched your stream, but if you're just sitting there playing the game and not saying anything, most people aren't going to come in and, like, give you something to talk about. They're just going to be like, I'm good. Oh, do I have to, like, do time stop here? Maybe? Sure. Looks like that's interesting. There's a new Super Robot Wars for PS4. That's cool. Has the series stayed pretty true to its genre? The modern games still like Fire Emblem style SRPGs? I found it was a lot easier to talk to an empty room if I was playing a game that I had played a lot, so I could talk all at length about the development cycle and secrets and stuff like that. Blind playthroughs are more fun when you have other people to enjoy the blind playthrough with you. Oh yeah, get it for Bloodborne. It's absurd to say that you should spend $400 on a shitty PC so you can play one game, but Bloodborne's really, really good. Been enjoying Pythagatron's blind playthrough of it. He's a big-time Souls fan. Yeah, it looks like there's improv classes out here in Santa Fe. So Andrew and I end up settling down out here. That would be cool. We'll try to schedule. Vivi from Kingdom Hearts is Vivi from Final Fantasy IX, same character. Yeah, I think Bloodborne delivers best on the Miyazaki, like, vague storytelling style. There's a really rich universe there, but I don't think you can say very much conclusively about it. There's a lot of hints. There's room for debate on a lot of it, which is really cool. Eventually I'll put on the curse immunity if I run out of the anti-curse things. Let me play it safe here and top myself off. Yeah, mechanics of Bloodborne are really fun too. I kind of like that it makes fun of you if you've played a Souls game before. The first boss is basically, oh, you think you know how to play Dark Souls games? Look again. Sounds like that would be really, really helpful for streaming. A lot of overlapping skill sets there. Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't put the regain mechanic in Dark Souls 3. It looks like they did the boss stagger stuff and like visceral attacks, which was smart. Heal. These guys are buff. I wish Patch's like combat heals scaled a little bit better. I guess it would make boss fights a little bit too easy. This heal is great. It's inexpensive and it can heal you to full pretty easily, but you really can't do it in battle. I probably won't do Metroid as a franchise focus, as much as I like the series. I've already done a bunch of those games independently. We effectively did a Metroid Prime franchise focus. Those 3 games are all done. So I'll keep them on the voting spreadsheet. There's a couple games like that. Like, I'd like new people who come in to look on the voting spreadsheet and not just see niche titles. Like, oh, Final Fantasy IV, oh, Super Metroid, cool. So that's part of what's keeping me from just playing some of the most popular series ever through Franchise Day. But I do want to play all of them because the Metroid series is one of my favorite. I imagine that they can climb the voting spreadsheet pretty fast since they're almost all less than 10 hours long. Yeah. Yeah, there are a lot of areas in here. You have to fight all the enemies to progress. Come on. Come on. Or, you know, don't come on, that's cool too. Kill it eventually, right? This has like a final dungeon feel to it. I guess we're kind of getting there on the time. That Mask of the Father thing, when you hit him. Giant Dad. How are we doing on evolving this guy? 44, goes up to 70? Okay, got a ways to go still. We'll get there. It's cool. We're playing Curse of Darkness today until 3 o'clock Pacific. And then it's Patreon subblock, which today is Beneath the Steel Sky, adventure game in the Scum engine, Sentinels in the Multiverse, which if anyone else would like to join that, if you own the game, it is a co-op card game for PC. But at least be playing that with Sorna Bear and a rando, but if anyone else wants to play it, just let me know, shoot me a Steam friend invite. And then Civilization 5. Restarting the Japanese campaign, hopefully not frustrating everybody too much with how much I've forgotten about the game since we played it last. Cool, Leon. Yeah, I'll probably play it next week Wednesday. Were you able to get some more money and jobs? Yeah, I'm guessing that my opinion of Other M is going to end up being pretty similar to my... This guy's gnarly looking. It's cool. Anyway, guessing my opinion of Other M is going to be similar to my opinion of... oh, Dullahan. Cool. Headless Knight. Makes sense. Bravely Second. Bravely Second has great mechanics. Kind of a stupid story. This guy I can steal from when he does that super jump, it looks like. Detecting a pattern. And that pattern is boss fights from now on we're going to have to pay attention during. Can't just, like, zone out and spam attack and win. Nice. Trying to learn moves at this point. So that does some damage with impunity. I might want to open with that next time and then desummon Proper Person. I'm going to die here in a second. I'm just curious how much damage I can get away with while that's out. I might need to max that out real quick. Bravely Second better than Other M? Sure. Yeah, I look forward to playing it. Like, Metacritic says that Other M's not that bad, like gameplay-wise, obviously. I've heard a lot of the character assassination it does to Samus, so it'll be good to play that on stream and talk about what works and doesn't work. It's mostly what doesn't work in this case. See if I can try this. Yeah, keeping that counter for when we play the next DLC. Fix it. Come on, dude. This is Dullahan, also a classic Castlevania enemy. Headless Knight. I think this kicks me out once I get below 10, so I should get away here. Yeah, alright. And then let's try doing some Nevermore here. Yeah. Yeah, there's an enemy called Legion that is a ton of like skulls and faces, so I thought maybe it was this game's interpretation. One of my favorite enemies in the Castlevania series, though, especially in like Symphony of the Night. Such a crazy looking enemy. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but I don't know it interrupts him either. Focuses aggro or anything useful. That's the move that I want to steal from him on, but I don't know if I can do so safely, unfortunately. Let's see if I can get a big heal from Patches here. That was not... You cannot shield that crazy attack. I wonder how you even steal from him there if you just jump at him and pull it in midair. Probably save Prop a Person for when he's at the last, like, 60% of his health rather than do it at the beginning since it takes forever. Maybe find a different way to fight this guy. Having the big hammer probably isn't helping very much. I don't know what kind of elemental damage he's dealing, which probably isn't helping very much. I doubt it's any of these things. Maybe I can combine anything that's interesting. Nodachi. Dragon Killer. Let me see how much XP I get from these Primal Guards. 6760 to level up. Hmm, 6760. So it's like 600 per kill? That's not bad. Come on. Yeah, so like even this guy, I'm wondering if I should switch to my older weapon. It's less damage, but it might be more DPS, just because I can swing it faster, you know? Give it a try and see what happens. Looks like I can respawn them, that's good to know. Yeah, this thing does 30 less damage per hit, but it swings about twice as many times in the same window. It leaves me less open because I can back out of it. I could try using his special abilities to kill him faster. I'm gonna try to get a level up for Hector, try the boss again, etc. Yeah, that's much faster, and we're getting some more adamantine. You can't use to craft anything right now, but that's okay. Right. You spent your teenage years in New Zealand, didn't you, Polarisky? I'm not really sure if I understand the mechanic on the giant dad shield that guy pulls up. Time is about to become a messier concept this weekend, guys. I'll post a reminder on this in Discord and other places, but this is when the US, well, most of the US finally does daylight savings. We are falling back. Stream start time will be an hour earlier. For those of you in areas that don't observe. Does knowing that Sean Bean was afraid of helicopters and chose to hike up the mountain instead of taking a helicopter up? Is that enough to count as being from New Zealand? Cass got matching tattoos. Really? You guys getting the same message from before Elite Effects? You guys reported a problem like that during Monster Hunter, right? Where's my level up? Try the boss again. Just something like media device not supported. I know they're doing some weird clips testing, and they posted that they're trying to change their ad system so that ad block doesn't work on it. The rumor is that they're trying to inject ads directly into your stream, which isn't how it works right now. And there's been a challenge, like a technological challenge of doing that for a long time. The stream starts an hour later, because it's November. I'm still seeing it fine in my dashboard. Yeah, it looks fine for me too. Just try refreshing, let me know what you come up with. I think we don't want to be sitting next to him during that attack. That's the move that I want to steal from him during, but it's really hard to do. Ouch. Super ouch. Ridiculous. Ooh, it's curse. Interesting. You can equip curse immunity, though. Such a goofy attack. Man, I keep trying to steal there. Hopefully he doesn't have like a one-of-a-kind steal or something. It's way too hard to try to land, I think. Let me see if I can get patches out and get some heals. Actually, when he uses that attack, I might actually be able to get some heals off if I'm smart about it. Man, that hits for like almost the full amount of the healing from this thing. Yeah, I can't even like dodge through it, no iframes on there. YouTube's working. I don't know what's causing it, it's looking fine for me. Can you like pause and restart the video? Maybe I heard Overboard Gaming talking about having a similar problem where that was fixing it. And I died. That actually could have been a winning attempt too. I might need to find a enemy later that I can farm for milk, like so I have a few more healing items. I probably need to like double jump to avoid that attack that keeps killing me. Let me try leveling up my other summons a little bit. I can use them to eat some damage. Try equipping the thing that levels them up faster. Hold up. Yeah, it fixed itself. When it happened last night during Monster Hunter, it eventually just generally went away too, or it eventually like caused the stream to buffer and then come back. A decent number of crystals to drop here. Pretty much, right? Don't think the enemies respawn just by leaving. I think it only happens if I go in and out of the save room. He's not leveling up as fast as I'd like him to either. Yeah, I'll be using Prop a Person to end that battle. Should work. He's good for a lot of damage. For free, basically. Because he has you move under the ground, and that's where you do all your damage. But is there a room full of heads? I guess that makes sense that he'd have a head fetish. Yeah, wow. Even if you just get hit by some of the rays at the end of that attack, you still take like 70 damage. A fairly significant chunk of my health. Ow. That attack too. Rotates fast enough that if it hits you once, I think it's going to hit you twice. Wow. That hit twice by that. It's really bad. Alright. Nope. Man, even a double jump wasn't enough to avoid that. Huh. I just don't know. Guarding doesn't do it either. If you jump at exactly the right moment, you can avoid it, but man, that is not, they do not make it easy. Yeah, look right there. 140 some damage, jeez. I think this attempt is over. Should die. And using the regular heal with patches is not an option either, unfortunately. Yeah, let me let him kill me. We'll try again. I think as long as we don't get hit twice by his jump attack, we might be okay, but whenever he hits us twice there, it's just GG, basically. It's like 33% of our health. Yeah, he's giving me a lot of trouble. I got him down to 60% health at one point when I was a little bit luckier with his jumping attack routine. At some point I might just go farm some milk and go in there with a little bit more health. The stream hasn't recovered for you guys at all? I'm still getting just a black screen. Do you get audio at least? There we go. Yeah, see there? If you don't jump, you have like a frame maybe to jump at the right time. Otherwise it hits you for 70 damage at least. The rest of his attacks feel pretty reasonable to dodge, but that one's the hardest one to dodge and does the most damage by a factor of like 4. Even that attack, which has, you see the really long build-up on that one? It only does 40 versus the up to 140. Interesting. When you get nothing at all, Sornus, does it say the stream is offline? Probably should wait with proper person here and try Nevermore. Jeez. Endless loading circle. Using Nevermore, not for lots of damage, but keeping the aggro off me at least. There it is again. I could try blinking the stream in a sec to see if that fixes it, but... Yeah, can you guys do me a favor and tweet at Twitch support as well? You can give my channel link if you want. Be like, hey, we're getting constant loading with no stream when other people are having it fine. This happened to me last night on Overboard Gaming's channel, but everyone was able to just refresh and it fixed it, no problem. So I'm not super sure. Definitely drink the milk safely. I want to save the excess potion, I don't need it later. I know that that's the worst strategy, but what are you gonna do? Well, thanks guys. Come on, don't run so far away. Prop a person with the free deeps over here. Depending on how much he moves away from me, this might get him very close to being dead. Gotta get away from them soon. Oh. Shit. Undo all the healing I did, right? Spam it. It doesn't do me any good. Okay, let's try switching back to rock and roll. You can pull aggro, and I'm gonna be able to get some hits off on him and finish him off here. Oh, yeah, but it's like I gotta stay away from him long enough to even get a little bit of net healing. I think I came out from summoning my healing person with like plus 20 health because he hit me so many times when I was running from him.
You got this, Marstead. Where? Ow. Where?
No, I wasn't able to steal. It's too hard, Cass. I had to give up. That's his attack that does like 35% of my health, the one that you can steal from him during. So I couldn't risk getting that close to him.
What is this?
Alright, see you, Ludifex. Thanks for trying. Let me see if Twitch support has any notes.
Power! Dracula's castle?
Oh man, Dracula's castle!
Life too late.
Castlevania hype. What?
What are you doing?
They're gonna kill Trevor in this game? Holy shit.
Have you interfering beyond this point?
That's all that it took after all that bullshit in Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse and someone show up behind you and stab you?
The seal cannot be undone except by a torrent of demonic energy. Hector could
Shit.
not know that.
Do not equate a Devil Forge Master's power with that of an ordinary sorcerer. For a seal like that, the magic produced in battle is more than enough. Placing a guard there proved to be your downfall.
Oh, did you just get it to load the Cass? Have at
to
you.
die.
Yeah. Shit, I did not see that coming. Wow. Now I really gotta kill this asshole. This is like Madame Butterfly killing Deckard Cain, right? Oh, that took me all the way back here. Interesting. Alright, let me hit the save point. I'll try blinking the stream, guys. I'll try taking it down and bringing it back up. Yeah, I assumed it was a unique steal. I wanted it, but the fight was just way too hard. I couldn't get in there. Every time he used it, he'd deal like 40% of my health and then knock me away. Okay, back up on YouTube, checking Twitch now. That's distressing. Well, hopefully we don't have to keep blinking the stream. I tweeted Twitch support to see if they have any feedback, if it's a known issue or not. So maybe when it fixed itself yesterday, it didn't actually fix itself, it's just the ingest went down and came back up. What's the thing I could have stolen from him, Chaos Factor? Super bummer that I missed it, but don't think I could beat the boss otherwise. At least not without grinding for a while to not take a quarter of my health and damage or get a whole bunch of milks or something. I could even get closer enough to attempt it. It would always knock me back. Purple glitter. Let you craft some good stuff or something, presumably. Probably try farming for money too to buy a bunch of high potions. That could help. Alright, so we've been here before. I don't think this is where they want us to go. Let me go see what that thing that I didn't reach before was. Maybe I can go this way now. This was blocked off before. Yeah, okay. Whoa. Finally. Yeah, I missed the steal, unfortunately. How's it going, Cass? I knew what I needed to do to steal it, but I couldn't. Every time I tried to get in close enough to him, the steal window was too brief. I don't know if I had to perfect guard his attack or something. And it was hitting me for like almost 40% of my health, so...
Dracula's castle. The curse that was unleashed 3 years ago still emanates from it.
Castlevania hype.
The source of the curse is still present? At this rate...
'Tis likely the remnants of Dracula's magic. And all because of me. Damn.
I guess the clock tower we went to actually isn't a legit like Castlevania clock tower.
We must try to cleanse the castle and dispel the vile curse.
If the curse spurs from demonic power, I may be able to find the source. Indeed, I must. For this something only I can do.
Get it, Hector.
Then make haste. If the castle is fully resurrected, it is possible that Dracula is revived.
If that is so, we must call Belmont. It is he who slew Dracula before. He can help us now.
Sorry about that.
Cannot.
But why?
He's super
He
dead.
suffered a terrible injury. I barely saved his life.
Really?
Now it hangs by a thread.
You saved Trevor's
My
life?
brother's work and other.
I see.
I thought he was pretty dead, but right on.
A Devil Forge Master is easily susceptible to Dracula's magic. Do not let the curse take hold of you. I'm certain that she would not wish you to pay such a price.
Dracula's curse of darkness.
So, you know about Rosalie?
The hour is late. Away to your purpose.
And you to safety. Back to your home.
I see.
Hector, please do not die.
I'll try really hard. They don't really explore, like, how does one become a Devil Forge Master? How do you get that gig? What do I need to use? I guess you need to be a Devil Forge Master to go in. It's an interesting choice. Was he just like a dude that, you know, answered a help wanted ad? At first I thought that he was like an infernal being himself, but I don't think that's the case. So this game refers to it as Dracula's Castle, as opposed to Castlevania. Cool. I don't know if there's only a steel window when he's rolling backwards like that. Maybe if you have him against a wall when he rolls back, you might get a chance to grab it. Hector was a man. Still Hector. Hector's one of those names that's not very threatening sounding. It's like the vampire in Lament of Innocence was Walter. I was kind of impressed. I was surprised we didn't confront Matthias Dracula in Lament of Innocence. It's like his origin, but the final boss in that game was death. Money so I can stock up on healing potions. More threatening sounding in Japanese. Very possibly, right? That's okay. I don't think that every threatening character should have a threatening name. It's kind of a frustrating trope in general. Everyone has to sound like a badass. You can't have a really dangerous person whose name is like Bill. Some call me Tim? I see. The music in this series continues to be really good. Classic duo. Gaibon and Slagra. It's like Bebop and Rocksteady. Hey. Super rude, dude. Try to get a full heal after this. Gaibon's actually super dangerous if you don't take him out really fast. Yeah, Porky. They changed his name to Porky in Mother 3 rather than keep it what it was in Earthbound because there's a lot of jokes around that name. Ogre Rod. Cool. Is he done then, or does he have another evolution? Still has another evolution. Okay. This rod is made from the hand of a red ogre, and the eye in its grip can see for hundreds of leagues. That's cool. Yeah, Porky was the original Japanese. They wanted to do a pun or a joke with Pokey's brother, so they went with Pokey and Picky. But then they doubled down on Porky and had a bunch of pig jokes and foreshadowing in Mother 3, so they relocalized it to what it was meant to be. I don't know if Picky had a joke name in Earthbound. Ask Tomato. Right. I love Tomato. He's a really cool streamer too. He doesn't stream often. Him and his wife do localization stuff. I think he's working on a relocalization of Breath of Fire 1. I guess the original Breath of Fire 1 localizations is pretty bad. Sometimes he'll stream himself. He's got like a thing that reads the whatever's in memory. He uses that as a translation aid. Indigo Steel. I found that earlier? I'm not sure actually. Goodbye, VD. There we go. It's funny how it looks like it's a lot of damage, but it really isn't in the context of the other things we can do. It's safe though, so... can't complain. Might need to just bite the bullet and evolve patches on the normal path instead of trying to do it with a special weapon. And I can check how much XP is it. It's like 90, yeah. Yeah, I'll just evolve them on the normal path. I can always hatch one of my eggs and make another special one later if I want to grind it out. I've been hoping to find a really good special weapon, but the ones that I have right now are way too slow for what they do. Alright. Switch back to prop person. Maybe the final form of the Pixie has a better heal that works in combat. The strength of the existing heals don't really scale with level at all, unfortunately. It would be cool, I think, if you got the crystals and then could spend them to choose when to evolve. I would probably feel more comfortable switching weapons and trying different things out, but it automatically puts them on whatever evolution path, depending on what weapon you're using. Probably mean if you play through this game a second time and just tried a different weapon, you get an overall pretty different experience. You get a lot of different devils to summon. They would evolve along really different paths. Go. Good looking out, Patches. These guys might just spawn forever. It seems like they keep coming. Try going up. I think I might need to fly across the gap here for this to work. Appear to be an unlimited number of those dudes. Okay. That's a bad Neverwar. Runs off and attacks one of these skeleton guys instead of helping me fly across the gap there. It's a bad crystal dragon. There we go. Oh man. Keep playing with it for a little bit. Tiramisu? Okay. Not gonna question it. Yeah, he started as a raven, hence his name. We had a pixie that still looks like a pixie. We had a rock monster that's now a ghost samurai. A raven that's now a dragon. Vivi's pretty much stayed as a black mage and proper person. It still looks like an imp. Slightly more threatening imp. I'll keep Patches out for a little bit to see what the next skill it gets is. I assume it gets a final skill for evolving. Tiramisu is good. The most knowledgeable race of fairy, rich in ancient culture, always ready to help and advise. Fingers are crossed for a new, like, instant heal spell. These two are basically useless now. I mean, it says heal level 1. Makes you think that there'll be more versions of it later. Why is there an office chair in the middle of the map? Okay. Right on. Might be the Saint Germain influence since he's a time traveler of some kind. Towards its wear, protection against being turned to stone. That sounds really good. There's a significant problem. Oh, there's another path I can take back there. It's like a 20th century roller office chair. There's also a swing set we found earlier. If it was from modern day. This looks suspicious. Let's try going straight first, maybe. See what we see. Try the other way. Alright. We'll just try both of them. See what happens. New skill or an egg? Egg. Okay. Oh, I guess, so I thought I missed an egg early on. I think it's because they drop it and then you have to go pick it up. I must not have ever picked it up that time. See if there's any new combine options. I don't think so. I need bronze, which I think means I have to go back to the beginning of the game if I want to make a new axe. I don't know if it'll be better than the one I have right now, though. Prob's not. Ouch. Ouch. Learn a new heal skill. Come on, you know you want to. Come on. There we go. Fantastic. Okay. Going this way. So I don't think we're going to beat Curse of Darkness today, but I'm almost certain we'll beat it next week at the rate we're progressing through it. I've got the Adventure Rebirth set up to play right after that. I have to see if I can find Belmont's Revenge. I'm not sure if there's a way I can play that that's not on a Game Boy emulator. So if someone wants to check, just Google Castlevania Belmont's Revenge and see if it's been re-released on any platforms like 3DS or Wii U or anything like that. Would be helpful. But steel, we got plenty of those from earlier. Hey, gold heal, what's that? Are you serious? Oh, that sucks. Wow. Looks like I want to evolve it along the other path. Spend 5,000 gold to heal yourself. Wow. That's so much money, too. I don't think we've had that much money in the whole game so far. Alright. Beat it. There's the chart here. Really? An unknown number until it can evolve? That's the first time I've seen that. Huh. Maybe you need to get a lot of points in a bunch of different things? Maybe I should try leveling up Vivi instead then. Creaky patches, right? Even if that was like a $500 ability, that would still be pretty aggressive, right? Fairly expensive. It's in character for the name Patches, though, right? Ouch. Forget at what threshold it resummons a dead innocent devil. It's a certain number of hearts you have to recover. Might be a percentage of their max hearts or something like that. So we'll find out. I'm not sure if it can continue leveling up, like if it keeps getting ego crystals or not. I wonder if there's like a weapon or a special ability that can pierce that shield effect. It's a nice use for money in the end game when you've bought everything that's interesting, but there we go. It's supposed to be like 1/3 of their max is how they get to respawn. Maybe there's a finite number of hits that eventually, once you swing a certain number of times, it depletes the giant dead shield. It's a different floor, isn't it? Okay. We've got a big long staircase. We double check the evolutionary path on this guy too. It's just 90, which should be doable. Maybe justify switching out Patches for one of the eggs that she dropped. It takes a while to evolve, and I don't think I'd be able to evolve her on a different path, you know? At least not one that doesn't end with the gold heal ability. Does anyone know what you need to do to evolve that imp? Is it something special? To like get every weapon to 999 or something? Alright, there's still one more path that I can check, and then I'll go down the stairs that I just saw. Let's not level everything up. You can just tell me what it is. It's probably not something I'd find out without looking it up. Okay, so that's just a circle. We just want to go down the stairs. Oh, so it levels up from crystals dropped from like a specific weapon? Or even just having that weapon equipped will be enough to get it to evolve? Interesting. Okay. Must be like really special then, like a boss steal or something. Hopefully it wasn't the thing I could have crafted from fighting, or from stealing from the Dullahan, since I missed that. I'll keep an eye out for it. I do try to steal from bosses when it's feasible. Unfortunately, almost all of the boss steals I've done have been stuff that doesn't really matter. Like, I think we stole curry from Trevor and then ate it in front of his face. Stole sushi from the cool whaler boss. Usually just been food. And the one boss is like, I'm probably not going to be able to pull off that steal and still win the fight. Actually, I had some of the good crafting material. Not from the headless boss. Alright, keep an eye out for it then. Laying an egg, presumably? Maybe learning a new ability. It's fun to try to steal, like it's just a neat thing to do. Try to watch for that attack and then time it just right. I was even able to do it against Richter, or I keep calling him Richter, Trevor. I keep saying Richter because I'm used to actually just playing as a Belmont, and the only other Castlevania game I've played where you run into a Belmont frequently is Symphony of the Night. Oh, that's new. I guess technically in Dawn of Sorrow, you run into Julius Belmont quite a bit, but they don't like call him by name all the time. Strips away a foe's life with Holy Lightning. And presumably heals me with it, maybe? Try to make that happen. Since I won't get it this playthrough, Chaos, what does the purple glitter make? Yeah, pretty much need to have a guide to find everything. Makes a laser sword? That's cool. Like best looking sword, or it's actually like the best DPS sword in the game? Probably both. Very good. Test it and see if I can get... Does that heal me? Whoa! It doesn't, but it does a shit ton of damage. How much does that cost? 20? Okay, well... Right on. Let's try to keep up that magic. Shit, man. That might be my most damaging per heart point single target attack at the moment. Oh, it's even AoE, wow. Heck yeah. I do feel like this is a problem in a lot of video games, clearly not unique to Curse of Darkness. This even came up in like, what's the game? Skies of Arcadia. The costing for a lot of the abilities in this feels a bit random, like... This ability costs just as much as Lightning Strike. Lightning Strike, I think it hits once for, I want to say, 80 damage. Hits one enemy for 80 damage, costs 20 hearts. That attack hits an entire group of enemies for what looks like almost 400 damage. Costs the same. That can be really hard to get right, though. It's like the attack design is already hard, and then figuring out, like... what each thing should cost, what's reasonable, whether it ends up being useful. And it's sort of like the, you know, should you print bad magic cards argument. Like, if you print abilities that are clearly overcosted, it feels fun for the player to decide whether to use them or not. Is this meant to be a long hallway? Oh, no, it's just, I turned around and it already killed all the enemies in here. Yeah, great skill. Purple version of Trevor's Whip. That's cool, Gas Factor. Vampire Killer. But it counts as a sword, I guess. Maybe it's not that these other abilities are badly costed, it's just that this is way too aggressively costed. This could probably cost like 60 heart points, you know? Nice. Let me bring out patches and top off here. That'd be a good farming spell for later. If we need to do any farming at the end of the game, find a big group of enemies and just spam Agnia. See how close I am to leveling this guy up another step. Okay, Still got a ways to go. 90 axe is what we need. Make sure I didn't turn myself around like I did earlier. It's just a neat thing to do. That is very satisfying. How you doing on level? Okay, ways to go. Synchron Saucer B? What the hell is that? Suspend saucers around Hector. Sensing any intent to strike, they attack along with Hector. Cost the same amount. Wow, that's pretty great too. It's doing like 40 damage per hit. And they last a decent amount of time. Not sure if that's more mana effective than Agnia, but it's still really cool. More active too. Actually requires Hector to do stuff. I think is a good bonus. Yeah, right? Options. Castlevania Gradius. That is a Konami game. What are you doing? They do about half as much damage as I do, and there's two of them, so... Target what I target. Seems pretty good. Oops. Rest in peace, Konami. We were talking about that earlier. That just, I can't believe that the whole Konami thing happened the way that it played out, you know? It's kind of... insane. They would behave like kids. I get the whole we don't want to make video games because we make much more profit making pachinko machines, but the fact that they're like so petty about it. Okay, so that's the way downstairs. You just reveal that part of the map, then I'll come back. Interesting. Wonder why the first time I went through the loading time was different. I think I can really think of other like examples of that extreme corporate pettiness, you know. Prop a person is going to turn me into a thing that moves around on the floor, so I can sneak under this. Not to what end just yet, but... Whoa, spooky fire guys. Looks like you want to cast that Agnia skill like right when you walk into a room and the enemies are still all grouped up. Ideal situation. Nice, I was lucky. Free rosary. Alright, well I've got two branching paths here. There's another way I can go, I'll have to check out later, I don't know which one's progress. Oh really? That happened? Now that was the parent company, right? Like it was like a Korean company. Who are the actual developers? Paragon? No. Cryptic? I played a shit ton of City of Heroes and Villains, I just forgot. I'll hear it and recognize it right away. It was just like, NCSoft was just like the publishers, right? Andrea apparently just rocked her seminar at Texas, and she texted me she heard someone use a phrase, spherical bastard, which means a bastard from every angle. Look at all those floating damage numbers, man. If the game has you deal damage in any capacity, like it's almost always enhanced by the addition of floating damage numbers. Devs were cryptic, that's right. Yes. No matter how you look at them, bastard. This might be coming up at a boss. Wow. Huh. Maybe that's part of it then. Yeah. Floating damage numbers. One of my favorite features. Dracula knows a throne guy. Gives him a discount buying in bulk. He's on Amazon Subscribe and Save Thrones. What else does NCSoft do nowadays, Sornus? I like those little options. Maybe I'll get a chance of getting more bronzes. We're gonna have us fight these high-level zombies. It's kind of a cool way to get more traction out of their early enemies without doing palette swaps. Just give enemy levels. They do publish Guild Wars, don't they? But ArenaNet's the dev, right? Oh, they do WildStar too? Interesting. Heard some pretty varied opinions about WildStar. Ping Nesquik. What is my favorite color of the alphabet? Can you not, like, eat my face? Thank you. New spell or laying an egg? Oh, he evolved another step. Crystal Rod, presumably is his final form. Right? Yeah, okay. Well, I don't think I have anyone else to evolve. I think these guys are all at their max forms, so I'll keep using him to get whatever his new ability is. Rock and Roll might still have a new ability too. Should probably catch Nevermore up in level. I really like the visual style. Wildstar was trying to recreate a lot of the like old school vanilla World of Warcraft, having to attune to raids, really brutal difficulty, 40 mans, that kind of thing, right? Going this way. No, that's how it was always sold to me, that it's like, let's try to be the hardcore raiding MMO, and that part of the reason it had trouble when it first came out was that it turns out that like hardcore raiders make up like less than 1% of the World of Warcraft community. It's good for like the brand and PR for the game, but not a good idea to cater exclusively to that crowd. Exclusively to that crowd, I should say. I don't know if those evil crystals continue to do something when they're at max level. Like, it still shows them as having consumed them. Maybe that determines what abilities they can learn. Like, there's got to be a finite number of abilities, right? They don't want that ability thing to go all the way across the screen at the bottom. I think I get more damage out of the Synchron Saucer, actually, as cool as Agnia is. So like once they're maxed out, eating additional crystals doesn't do anything, presumably. Top myself off here. So I think there must be some version of her that levels up the heal skill, right? It's too bad it doesn't scale with her level at all. Got any new combines yet? I don't need to worry about that for a while. Still another path that's way, way, way behind me that I want to explore. Whoa! There's a good time to use Agnia, I think. They're all grouped up like that. Okay, man. Problem with Vivi is it's like almost always the little wizard summon is nearly always floating in damage range. I think it takes more hits than almost any of the other summons. Oh, Fleamen, my favorite. $100 gold. I'll take some loot. Playing Curse of Darkness for about another 40 minutes or so, and then we'll be doing Patreon subscriber block, which today features Beneath the Steel Sky, Symbols of the Multiverse, and 2 hours of Civilization 5, starting a new campaign. And Proper Person is dead. Let's try level up Nevermore a little bit more. It's really crazy the way the XP scaling works in this game. Like if you leave one of your innocent devils behind and then like clear one room, it's enough for them to catch up almost immediately. So it seems like the best thing to do is to stick to one innocent devil that you're leveling up all the time and then just do a quick farming run before bosses to catch everybody else up. Oh, you have it too, Effects? Right on. It seems like a cool game. I really like the title screen music. I wasn't expecting it to be so rad. It took me by surprise. Is there like there's a physical version of the game? It's not just digital? I hate. Flee then. They die in one hit. Really? That's cool. And it's always been co-op focused? Whoa. Harpy? Jeez. That's great. Just breathe your fire in a way that doesn't target any of the enemies. Excellent. I guess the dragon is meant to be used for, like, giant groups of enemies where the targeting doesn't really matter. Favorite cardboard game. Right on. If I dig it, I might need to buy a physical copy of it and bring it to our board game night out here in Los Alamos. That would be cool. Holy shit. Chain lightning. Man, still getting skills. Holy shit. Shield game. Forgotten memory. That's a new crafting material, I think. Maybe not. Doesn't sound familiar. What does shield do? Creates a shield that defends completely against any enemy attack, works one time only. So that would be, if I had had that for the other boss fight, I could have used that to steal, I think, from Dullahan. Oh well. I just got the base set, yeah. Is that okay? Like you were saying that you get to play with, like whoever has the lowest version of the set is what you end up playing with. Sure. Yeah, I wish there'd be like a video game version of Munchkin. I enjoy Munchkin, but like good 70% of the game is math, and not even like fun math. I assume they can level up beyond 50, but I don't actually have any evidence for that yet. I'm not still using... oh, that explains a lot. I'm wondering why I'm not leveling up. Well, maybe I'll catch up to them now. What do you normally have to do to steal from it, Cass? Do you have to do like a perfect guard and then go in there? It looks like the steal window was really brief. Yeah, wow. 4,000 XP in that room alone. If I find a save point near here, this could be my farming area, you know? These guys are strong against lightning, I think, is their bag. Nice. Those guys give like 3,000 XP. Oh, so you want to like steal from it in the midair? Figure out when they're going to use it, Kaz, and then steal at just the right second, I guess. Hey, Raker, it's Groovin'. Go. Cool. They must have just windows when they're vulnerable, right? Oops, actually getting levels up again. Hopefully didn't fall too far behind by accidentally turning off XP earlier. No new combines, that's fine. Yeah, imagine that's super tough, Raker. Yeah, I can't tell if that's just a time thing. It might be. Please don't kill Vivi. Look at the little freaking out face in the top left corner next to Innocent Devil. Let me swap it out so it doesn't die here. Try doing some proper person a little bit. Feels like it's doing so much damage, but it takes so long to kill anything, you know? It's funny. Alright. Let's catch up Nevermore a little bit here. Just took a long time. No! Okay. Let me summon Patches, get some heals in here. What am I doing on XP? I'm leveling up fairly quickly now. Hopefully I catch up. Yeah, that'd be cool. It affects managed to use Roll20 for that. Keep playing D&D with friends I played with physically in Ohio after I moved away. I can just run, right? Curious, why would they give me a full heal without an actual save room? Maybe it's just they realized that they made a really long gauntlet here in Dracula's castle. We should probably top you off before we ask too much more of you. Looks like Innocent Devils do not cap out at level 50. Good to know. What's the overall nature of the assignment? Appear to be 2 exits here. Ah, I see. Clever, clever. There's still a path I didn't take before, but this feels like progress with how long it is, right? That's a cool trick. I forget what green doors are. Not a warp. Warps are yellow. It's a secret Innocent Devil? Really? I didn't think they would do that. Huh. Weird. Chaos, do you know how I'm supposed to get this? Normally I just walk up to it and that's how I unlock it. Don't think I have like a spell or something. Hold on. You have to have saved data from Lament of Innocence. Let me take a look here. Where does PSN save? There you go, PS2. PS2, PS3 save files, I think you go. Virtual memory card. Is it a weapon that I have access to yet? I do have a Lament of Innocence save, but like, it's complicated. I played Lament of Innocence on the PlayStation Network, so I think it saved it to a different, like, internal memory card or something. And then this is still on the PS3, but this is a physical disc since Curse of Darkness isn't on the PSN. So I think I can make them talk to each other, but I don't know how to do it. I've never had that problem before. Let me put a marker there. We'll make it pink. What does that mean? Innocent Devil. This is the right way, right? Yeah, okay. What are the ingredients for it, Kez? You can tell me, that's okay. I'm alright to know. I'm in Gaibon. Oh, shit. Oh, good looking out, Vivi. Saving the day. Nice. Pico Peaker Hammer and the Pumpkinhead Helm. Yeah, I don't think I've made either of those. Gotcha. Have to find the ingredients for those two. Nice. Good XP from these guys. Man, if there's a save room near here, wouldn't that be great? Just come in here and try to grind level ups. They drop hearts pretty frequently too. Maybe that's the purpose of this room. All the evolution crystals. Could be. No, it's by a warp door. So that means it's kind of by a safe door. I'm gonna be right back, guys. Hey, I'm back. Right, do you like the twist, Raker, from, was it Super Mario Brothers 2, where the exit door is one of the bosses, like right before Wart? Do it with the save room chair, it's actually a boss, I get up to leave and it kills me.
Come on in. What can I get? What will it be today?
Don't think she's still, yeah, the same stuff she's selling, I think.
Too bad.
Devil shards are a decent source of extra money,
Too
but...
bad. Thanks as always. What can I get you today? Incubate a new one?
Does the level of the devil shard matter?
Will that do it? Anything
Hold
else?
on.
thanks as always. Which do you like? Will that do it? Take good thanks as always. Which do you like?
It starts at the same level. So, is there supposed to be this expected system with the innocent devils where you level them up high, you get them to make an egg, and then like the egg version has slightly higher stats, so then you level the egg version, it has slightly higher stats, it lays an egg, and so on? Because like the only difference between these two, as far as I can tell, they're the same level. This one has slightly more hit points, but I don't know if the stats are actually any different. Some of their stats carry over. Feels like I should be doing that. I guess now that the drop rate's so much higher for the Evo crystals, you can try to evolve patches on a different path.
Take good care of it. Thanks as always. Which do you like? You took good care of it. Take care.
I took care of it? Whatever, that's fine. Whatever you say, Julia. Okay. Does the... how can I phrase this? Is it worth trying to craft the special weapon evolution of the Pixie Innocent Devil? Does it have an ability that's better than the one that the main evolution path has? The one from the main evolution path is kind of bad. It's you have to spend like 5,000 gold. Okay. I could maybe farm for that without it taking longer than like 20 minutes or so. The weapons are pretty bad, but... Thanks, Propagable. Friendship is magic. Surprising if that's not a boss room. Okay. It doesn't have a boss door though, so I don't think it's meant to be a boss. Oh. Hey, it's the actual for real, not for play long hallway. I don't think I want to have patches. It's okay. Play this song here. I can always switch back to the other one afterward if... Don't think this is the final boss, but it is definitely the long hallway. Well, this is the Castlevania long hallway, the long staircase at the end of Dracula's castle that leads up to Dracula's chamber. We'll see what's actually in there.
You resurrected the castle! Hector, bravo!
You wanted me to regain my powers. Now I see why. I fell right into your plot. After 3 years of peace, I'd lost my edge.
And I've sharpened mine. I've been waiting quite
This
a
dude.
long time to plot my revenge. Not only did my lord die because of you, you stripped me of my pride, my home. Now I shall make you suffer as I suffered. You shall die a most painful, gruesome death!
Hey, he has a... Okay, looks like if I knock him back, I can steal from him. Gotta keep him trapped in a corner, though, for it to work. Yes way. Gets his innocent devil. Do I have to kill his innocent devil before I can kill him? That's probably what's going on here, right? They're the same ones that I have. That purple thing he's using must be what we can craft, right? Alright, we've got to deal with multiple innocent devils for this fight, apparently. That's gonna be tough. It's a very different evolution line than I eventually took. Stole cheese. Again, I finally steal something and it's like food. Use it to heal in this fight, maybe. Whoa, that's cool. Change the summon here. Try, well, we'll bring out Proper Person at the end. Try rock and roll for a bit here. Not like I think we can craft with the cheese, right? It doesn't look like it's a crafting item, just eating. Oh, it didn't heal for as much as I expected it to. That's funny though. Hey, that's my summon, dick. Womp womp. Oh, they're just gonna trade skills there? That's funny. I think I'm all out of healing items, right? I can use this one. Probably has 4 of those, right? Turn off your hyper armor, buddy. Yeah, sub block starts in 5 minutes. That's correct. So if I lose this fight, I'll probably just go ahead and get that started up so we're not running too late with it. Ah, bummer. He may have had one more innocent devil in him though.
Atone in death, you damn traitor.
Cool. We'll pick up with that boss fight the next time we play. Like I said, after Curse of Darkness, the next game is The Adventure Rebirth, the remake on the WiiWare, the Wii downloadable content. And then Belmont's Revenge is after that. We're playing through the Castlevania series in chronological order according to the published timeline. Be back in a few minutes with Patreon Subblock, which today features Beneath the Steel Sky, Sentinels of the Multiverse, and Civilization 5 for 2 hours.